So today I'm gonna do my first longer trip with my second Nissan LEAF that I'm currently leasing in my 15th month of the lease. So the distance is 58 miles. I'm gonna be traveling from Richmond, Virginia to Williamsburg, Virginia, and the weather is not the best. It's 8 Celsius outside. I believe it's somewhere around 47 Fahrenheit. I'll display this in the video later. I charge fully and preheat the cabin. However, you see my available energy, and this is 30 kilowatt hour LEAF 2016. For some reason, after cabin preheat, my state of charge dropped to 99. And actually, you can see here LEAF Spy says state of charge 95 and the gates are 91%. Most important to me is available energy, displays 25.3, which is lower than the usual. Usually the charge will stop in the summer around 26 kilowatt. Not to say my previous video I did after the recall for battery management system update on Nissan LEAF. This car would charge to 27 kilowatt, so was like misrepresenting the available energy. And I'm gonna try to use maximum 24 kilowatts. So the important thing here is what I'm doing. So I'm resetting everything. Okay, average speed, distance, we don't need this right now, and it's gonna be my efficiency, miles per kilowatt. So I'll try to keep it somewhere above 3, ideally 3.5. I'll be taking the highway, so it's 58 miles. Google estimates about 58 minutes or so. So I'm assuming the average speed will be around 60 miles an hour, which most of the part will be highway, and I'll try to keep up with the traffic with 70 miles an hour, which is not actually keeping up with traffic. It will be staying sort of safe because everybody probably gonna be way above the speed limit. And we'll see. Eventually I'll have a rain on my way, and this might drop my efficiency additionally, but let's see. I'll film now when I arrive there, and there's gonna be a level 2 charger where I have a meeting, so I'm gonna charge a little bit on level 2 during the meeting. And then there's a Nissan dealership. I'll be using the quick charger, hopefully it works, so to make it back. Okay, so I'm already passing my 5th mile of my trip, so assuming the data should be a kind of normalizing, averaging. So because when I first start off, there was no regenerative braking, so my efficiency was like barely even reaching 2 miles per kilowatt, which is kind of horrible. Right now I'm about more than 4 miles on the highway. I'm keeping 68. Here the speed limit is 65, and yeah, I mean, I'm not the slowest one. So far I'm in the right lane, and I don't see anybody passing me crazy fast. Pretty much it looks like I'm moving with the traffic. Well, here now the speed limit raises to 70, so I'll see if I can keep it this way, 68. The efficiency right now is 3.1 miles per kilowatt. LEAF Spy for some reason detects 3.3. I notice this difference is always presented because I think LEAF Spy used the phone's GPS to track how many miles I traveled, not the data from the car's computer regarding the traveled miles, and from there it thinks I travel less. So right now it calculates 3.4 miles was for a little bit. Now it drops to 3 miles again. So yeah, 23.5 kilowatt hours left in the battery. I think so far it goes good, even if I can keep it around 3 miles per kilowatt efficiency, which definitely is not gonna happen if I raise my speed even to 70, which is just 2 miles an hour more. I'm still, I think I'm gonna make it 58 miles trip. Come on. So I'll keep you updated in a few more miles, probably once I reach like 30 miles or so. I should be able to make this trip in one charge. 20th mile update. Let's switch to LEAF Spy and let it update. Well, as soon as I hop on 64 East towards Williamsburg, I realized I dropped here recently. It's a lot of road work, so definitely the speed is not going to be 70. As you see, I don't know if you can see actually, the traffic ahead of me is not moving faster. I'm just exactly with the traffic here, and I'm in the right lane. My speed is averaging around 60, and yes, you can guess my efficiency, well, it's not skyrocketing. It was 3.3 on the highway at 70 miles an hour, and now just updated 3.5. Of course, this speed of 60 miles an hour is perfect for Nissan LEAF, or I would say for any electric car. It's kind of on the edge between speed and efficiency, so means that you're still efficient at this speed. And things drastically change usually if you just go from 60 to 65, and especially 65 to 70. Well, if you decide to go 75, something like this, yeah, then you're gonna see the lowest possible efficiency in your electric car. You can see here, I hope you can see though, the tire pressure is 37 psi. The battery temperature, the highest is measured right now, is 55.9, almost 56 Fahrenheit. When I started was 50. So within 20 minutes, that's what LEAF Spy say, I'm almost 20 minutes in my trip. Here I'm going slowly back to 70. I'm gonna lock the cruise control. It raises almost 6 degree Fahrenheit, the battery temperature, which is expected since on the highway it's a greater consumption, greater energy withdrawal from the battery, so this generates heat. So this is about the 20 mile or 22 miles already. I'll keep you updated. Okay guys, so now I'm gonna do the update of the 47 mile passing of my trip. So LEAF Spy says I'm on the road for 41 minutes. The tire pressure is still 37. That should be unchanged. This 62.6, the highest temperature in the battery. When I started 40 minutes ago was 50, the highest temperature in the battery. You see maybe in the windshield I'm having some rain. Here's I'm joining traffic. It's gonna kind of reduce my speed. I have a lot of trucks on the road, which is always welcome when you have a lane that moves slower than the rest of the traffic, so you can be kind of safe in this lane, so you're not the only one on the highway driving like, let's say, 5-10 miles slower than everybody else. So far I have left 11 kilowatt hours in the battery. I started at 25.3 available. LEAF Spy actually even wasn't active like in foreground all the time, was in the background. It measures so far I consumed 13 kilowatt. Probably is a little bit more because I started 25. Is there some regeneration? Yeah, as you can imagine, it's 13 watt hours regeneration only. That's what the LEAF Spy captured. Probably I regenerate much more, but as I told you, I have Google Map in foreground, so when LEAF Spy is in the background, it doesn't measure doesn't capture all the data correctly. So far, right now 49 miles traveled. Nissan LEAF predicts I still have, with current conditions, 38 miles to go. The car says 41% battery to travel 49 miles. You can expect this. And LEAF Spice say state of charge 43, which probably relates to the cross capacity of the battery, and 38% GITS, which is the one usually closer to the state of charge that the car reports on the dashboard. So I'll be probably arriving in few miles, 49, so I have less than 10 miles to my destination, and I'll keep you updated when I arrive. Alright guys, just arrived. There was like one Ford C-Max, and next to me is a Ford Focus Electric, which is interesting to see in life. It's a kind of a rare sight. So I'm arriving with 8.4 kilowatt available. Probably I spent around 15, maybe more, because so it's 17 kilowatt to come here to travel 57.3 miles, and the dashboard says 32% left, 33 miles. Of course my efficiency got up a lot, and my average speed dropped down, so 3.5 actually didn't get up so much as I was expecting. So since I get off the highway, probably just Nissan LEAF accounts about the change of consumption a little bit later, but this is data. So you can see it's gonna switch right now. 64 Fahrenheit battery temperature. This is about 5 bars, so before reaching 60 degrees Fahrenheit it shows 5th bar, which is still below the normal temperature, which is still good. It keeps the battery cold. So I'm going to start charging now. Hopefully everything is good, and I'll keep you updated when I come back. My Nissan LEAF exactly after 1 hour. So here you can see it's almost an hour since I plugged in. $0 I'm owning, 6.1 kilowatts. So let's see, probably for 1 hour I'm gonna reach like a 6,100 watts delivered through this semi-charge, which is not network, so I don't need actually the card. It's open, you just plug it in and you're good to go. So let me show you for this 1 hour, it added up. I just checked like 5 minutes ago. I was walking, so it added up. Okay, show me it plugged in. Okay, percentage, where is the percentage? It was 60, so 62% from 33, so but let's round it to 63, so it's not bad ratio at all. It's pretty good fast level 2 charger. So for 1 hour it added about 30% charge. From here now, to stay safe, I'm gonna move to nearby, like 2-3 miles away, Priority Nissan dealership, and gonna top off a little bit more at the DC charger. It's not the best to plug in your car when it's above 60%, but I'm assuming by the time I get there it's gonna be a little bit below 60% state of charge. So that's how is it. So far this 58 one-way trip, so goes pretty well. So Nissan LEAF is very capable for something like this, or let's say even 60 or 70. And keeping in mind, for you see on the footage, I wasn't driving much slower, or not to say slower at all than the traffic. I was just driving as I would drive with any other normal car. Polluting car, fossil fuel car, internal combustion engine. So that's it. Road trips in Nissan LEAF, first generation, 30-hour kilowatt battery though, the 2016 model. So you have the 30 kilowatt in 2016 and 2017 model. It's still very doable. Alright, so keep you updated. Okay guys, now I just arrived at Priority Nissan in Williamsburg. It was kind of difficult to find the charger, and the parking spot is really tiny, but hey, I'm still very thankful to have this charger. So I'm starting at 60% state of charge according to the BMS of the Nissan LEAF, and it shows on this charger 50 amps. Luckily it's not throttled down like some Nissan dealerships are doing, unfortunately. So as expected, probably at this state of charge, or maybe they throttle it down to 50 amps to get 18 kilowatts. So hey, still better than, it's still 3 times faster than at level 2. Means I'm gonna have to spend 3 times less time here charging up a little bit more, probably like 40 minutes, but it wasn't like a waste of time. Seems like by the check-ins at these dealerships, the quick charger, everybody report exactly the same current, whatever is the voltage, depends on the state of charge, but it's always 50 amps. So seems like it was manually throttled down to 50 amps. Still good, like compared to the Richmond few dealerships, at least. Okay, the one I don't want to mention this way, but it's Nissan of Richmond because this is my dealership. So they throttle down to 38 amps, which results in only 13 kilowatt output, which I wouldn't call it at all a quick charger, because not to say some electric cars charge with a 10 kilowatts. We're not talking about Tesla that is capable at AC to charge at 20 kilowatts. So however, here's the numbers. So the car stopped charging at 99 according to the dashboard, 94, so it's 25.2. It's very interesting because this is exactly the same energy I had in the battery when I left Richmond. So I'm living now pretty much probably it's going to be a slightly shorter distance. It's not going to be 58 miles, probably it's going to be something like 56, 55 maybe back home, but I'm living exactly with the same energy available in the battery. LEAF Spy reports 94 state of charge, which provides the gross capacity. According to the Gits is 91%, so I'm assuming it's not really, because I'm supposed to get like 26 kilowatt hours in the battery at the current state of health of the battery. So it stopped at 25.2. The heat is working, but as you see here, it's slightly getting time to time it draws like a 200 watt hours. This is like 0.2 kilowatt hours kilowatts, and that's it. If you're curious to see my current state of health of the battery, I think it just refreshed it. So available, I guess, cross capacity amp hours here is 72.76, and it calculates this is 91.55 from the original capacity of the battery, which is still good. However, I have to say it drops pretty significantly after the summer, and the summer here is pretty long. It can be really hot. So if you watch my previous video on my channel, I think I got back to 93, 95 even after this recall by Nissan to correct to update the software for the BMS, because it was reporting less available energy. So but so I can gain a whole kilowatt. The car would charge up to 26 before, so after this update the car start charging up to 27 when I charge completely, you know, like till the BMS decide to stop charging the battery. And over the summer, of course, I lost back this extra kilowatt hour that I gained through the software update. So I'm gonna start driving right now and keep you updated. Well, if you're just interested, the car is projecting 104 miles of range, but this is my last trip was within the Williamsburg, so like probably the fastest was 45 to 50 miles an hour, stop and go. So I'm assuming the efficiency was somewhere like 4.3, 4.5, and it's kind of warm. I didn't use heat for real, so that's the reality. A little update of my trip back from Williamsburg back to Richmond, Virginia, and I'm just passing my first 15 miles of the trip way back home, and the efficiency is okay. It's 3.4 as expected, no big difference of the numbers I seen on my way down to Williamsburg. I'm saying down because it's a very small elevation loss, so now I'm supposed to gain elevation, but it's over 60 miles, like gaining, let's say, 200 feet elevation is nothing. It shouldn't affect significantly the efficiency. The battery is getting hot, so I charge till the BMS stopped the charging, and the DC quick charger, not really quick charger, as you saw, it was throttled down to 50 amps, which results in something like maximum 19 kilowatt output, but was surely enough to heat up the battery. Also keeping in mind that I topped it off the battery, so I was surprised that actually it wouldn't stop like my older Leaf 24 kilowatt at 93%. It stopped at 99, so I'm pretty sure it was slow, but I was in a restaurant, so I was taking my time eating my food, so I didn't feel like I wasted time. Actually, I have to I idle at the charger, which is bad, for about 10 minutes. Luckily nobody needed to use it, but this is something, guys, you should do as EV drivers. And let's surely heat up the battery now. I started with a 72 Fahrenheit. Right now says maximum temperature of the battery pack 75.6. So surely, you know, compared, I started in Richmond with 59, if I'm not wrong, and I arrived in Williamsburg with 66 temperature Fahrenheit at the battery pack maximum one measured, because they're like the 3 sensors, I think. So yeah, so far the trip back goes good. I'll keep you updated when, let's say, I pass like 30 miles or 40 miles. Guys, I'm on my 37 mile of the trip back to my home, and so far things look good. So far the efficiency actually is pretty much the same as on the way to Williamsburg, so no difference. Maybe now it's warmer, maybe for 2 more degree warmer, you know, Celsius, probably 5-6 Fahrenheit warmer. It makes sense for the heat. I'm not sure this quite impact right now the range. 37 driven, 50 estimated left, and the battery is 13.4, so we started at 25.2, so we are nearly to 12 kilowatt hours of energy used to travel 38. The efficiency, I don't know if I told you, is 3.5 right now, but it's a little bit higher. I think it's realistically 3.3, 3.4, because I have a little slowed down down to 40 miles for a little bit, because it was like a construction zone. But this is also real world situation, because nowadays on the highway you always have either traffic or or traffic due to the construction zone on the road. So either way, you can't expect, maybe unless you're driving in the late night hours and there's literally so many cars on the road, then you can expect to keep all the time your let's say 72 miles an hour. So I was driving for a little bit 72 miles an hour because I needed to pass really slow moving trucks in the right lane. Sorry about that. And so far I'm pretty pleased. A small trip up to 60, I even say 70 miles. It's completely doable on one charge, and it's doable in a way you would do it with an internal combustion engine car. So you don't have to spend an extra time, you don't have to drive much slower than the traffic, pretty much with the traffic. Well, you can see right now I'm 71. It's a little bit, it's just the cruise control either gonna put me 69 or 71. Wow, okay, now flat to 70. So I'm not slower than traffic. I even slightly pass some of the cars. Of course, there's always cars that passing me. I'm not trying to be the fastest guy on the highway, but it's completely doable. Now there's the thing though, with electric cars, as you know, they consume much more at higher speeds, at highways, especially those highway speeds of 70 miles an hour, which is equivalent of 120 kilometers an hour. And for example, the EPA range is usually estimated at mixed driving. So what I've noticed for Nissan and other electric vehicles, the range usually, other electric vehicles similar to the specs and weight of Nissan LEAF, they estimated at 3.9 miles per kilowatt. Their range is estimated on this efficiency. So right now, as you see, I'm 3.5. That's mean at full charge I will get less than the EPA 107 miles. You never can expect this. Basically, you never can expect to get the range by the EPA on the highway. However, if you drive primarily city driving, you're most likely gonna exceed this range. That's why I see like many Chevy Bolt owners so happy, reporting, oh, I did 250 miles, oh, I'm in the 300 miles club. Of course, even this Nissan LEAF, if I drive it in city stop and go traffic conditions, speeds around 35 miles an hour with a lot of stops, to regenerate, and not fast acceleration because the traffic doesn't accelerate fast. Probably my range easily will be 120 miles, even though EPA projects 107. So this is things to consider when you have an electric vehicle, that your range on the highway on a road trip will be probably around 30% to 40% less than what EPA projected. And this is due to the higher speeds, this is due to the no regenerative braking to recover some of the energy. And also you have to keep in mind that the weather is a factor, and it's also a factor of how warm you want to keep your body in the cabin. Now the heated seats most of the time do the job, or if you've been in the car for 2-3 hours, your feet might get a little bit chilly. So or if it's a humid outside, your windshield might start fogging, so you might have to, for that purpose, you might have to use some heating. So and if outside is like sub-freezing, this can impact your efficiency. Like today's test on my way back, 11 Celsius. Yeah, I know in the United States, but I like Celsius better. This is in the lower 50s. Let me see what this spy reports. 52. Yeah, I was right. 52.7. So let's say 53 Fahrenheit. On the way back, it was a little bit colder on my way down to Williamsburg. So it's pretty much, this is a favorable, I would say, temperature for electric vehicle and a long road trip. So this is pretty good. This is pretty good condition. Now a more real world test would be at temperatures close to 0 Celsius or 32 Fahrenheit, where the heat pump would have to work much harder, maybe even sometimes using the resistive elements to provide heat. So that's it for now. I'll keep you updated when I arrive at my destination. Alright guys, so here I made it at home. Since I drove 52.8 miles, so it's significantly shorter, but this is it's not because it's so much different. The route back is because I reset the trip meter after I recharge second time the DC quick charger, a so-called quick charger at Priority Nissan in Williamsburg. So from there it was 99%, pretty much same available energy of 25.2 kilowatt hours in the battery. So I'm arriving with a little bit less, I think, at Williamsburg. I'll check in the video. I arrived with almost 10 kilowatts, or if not even 10 kilowatt hours available. Here's like 7.9. Even though I had some traffic on the way back into a construction zone, you saw it a little bit earlier. Still the less part of the I would say the last 15 miles when I step onto 95 interstate, they were like steady 70 miles an hour, even I think 72. No, it was 70. So yeah, so it's interesting to see at 52 Fahrenheit how quickly, 53 Fahrenheit, 11 Celsius, how quickly the battery quickly like half degree Fahrenheit drop down over 10 minutes. So the passive cooling that Nissan talks about, it's really very passive, very passive. You cannot rely. Now if I was in the same situation in the summer, where the ambient temperature is pretty much, you know, as what the, or even higher, is what the sensors of the battery pack are reading, you can expect, you know, any you know, quick cooling of the battery pack. So in fact I start here with 50 Fahrenheit. By the time I arrive at Williamsburg, after that sort of highway-ish driving with average speed of 60 I showed you earlier in the video, that's what the car registered. I didn't idle in one place at all, so this is truly average speed. So it went like 9 degree Fahrenheit up. So then I did like quick charging. You can see earlier in the video when I started up the car and show you how much I have available, what was the temperature of the battery pack. However, after the, you know, charging to the top of 99% of the battery, what the car says is 99, truly is not 99. You notice that the temperature was significantly higher. I believe it was 72 something, maybe 72.9. It's too many numbers now to remember. And after traveling, you know, on the highway, I pretty much gained the same degree Fahrenheit temperature, a build-up heat. So, you know, for this heat to kind of cool down, it probably is gonna take some good amount of time, some few hours. Not to say if now most likely I'm gonna plug my car, but it's not gonna charge right now. It's set on timer, just sort of to, there's no benefit of this to charge like off-peak hours, because in Virginia, in Richmond, Virginia, the electricity rate is 11 cents. It's a flat rate, no matter when you're charging. They do have some plans for like a household and EV but the thing is, like, they're very strict with the super peak hours when it goes up to 15 cents. But still, I think still good deal, because most of the time is for the other non-peak hours is like 8 cents, which is significantly lower. And the super off peak hours, if you manage to charge only, then it's like 5 cents per kilowatt hour. So there are some options here. I'm not sure if Dominion Power still offer this. However, for now I'm using just 11 cents, and the reason I'm charging the car at night is sort of to charge at the coolest ambient temperature outside, which now in the winter time, now is the last day of November 30th. Pretty much doesn't make sense. I could charge it now, but let's say as I do, I try to contribute not to pollute the nature, not with my car, but through charging in the peak hours, because right now I think it's a peak hour, sort of almost 4 o'clock, people getting off work, most people maybe are at home, bumping up the heater because it's kind of chilly, start cooking, shower, so it's a lot of probably usage of electricity in the whole area. So yeah, I try to charge when people supposedly sleeping. So that's it. Well, this is my first ever experience with my own electric car, making a long sort of trip of almost 60 miles, but it was cool experience. Subscribe to my channel, give the video a thumbs up, and I cannot wait to see your comments in section below. Tell me what you think about what is your experience driving similar distances or longer distances. So I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching.